The Bible said in 1 Corinthians chapter 1 verse 27, but God has chosen the foolish things of this world to confound the wise. God, another translation said, but God used the foolish things of this world to confound the wise. In other words, the world looks at you as a foolish person, as a stupid person. Those that are writing you off and talk you down and gossip and believe that your life is nothing to write about and believe that your future can never mount out for anything good, they are the people that are already writing you off. But I'm here to tell you that you that they consider as a foolish man or woman, God will use you to change their lives. Somebody thunder amen. There is no two ways about that. Let them go ahead. Just tell them this is the path. Go. Let's see how far you can go. Whatever stone they throw, let them continue. And let's see how far they can go. Because at the end, what Baba God says, it's what we do what? Let me take you to the place where we just read. I picked this place because of the harlot woman. And I would like to start by asking you a question from that place where we read. My question is, why did God use a harlot to save the spies? Why? Why did God use a harlot to save the righteous, the godly people? Hear me, folks. There are things about spiritual which we can never comprehend. It doesn't matter the enlargement of your IQ. You can never comprehend it. There are things about spiritual things, about anything about God can never be comprehended and fathomed by man's ideology. It is not possible. These are the children of God, the righteous, the chosen one. And God delivered them, used them to destroy nations. Part 6, did a lot of signs and wonders. And when he got to another land, which he promised to give them, and 2 spies were sent to go and view the land. Behold the person they saw. Behold the person where they lodged. They lodged in the house of a harlot. Not the priest of that land. Not even, reasonable people or beautiful people or nice people. A harlot is considered a taboo even today. If somebody calls you a harlot, I believe you will fight back, whether you're a man or a woman. A harlot is considered a taboo. But these are the spies. And God directed their footsteps to the house of a harlot. You may say, well, it's not God that directed them. I will come back again so that I will prove you wrong. For the Bible said that footsteps of the righteous is guided by God. Hear me. Any situation you find yourself as a believer, as a righteous of God, is ordained by God. Anything you see happening in your life today, stop fighting devil. It is by God, unless you are not the righteous, unless you are not the chosen, unless you are not born again. But if you are, whatever you go through, God is leading you. And don't expect God to lead you in everything so rosy. No. There will be some bumps on your way. Don't call Satan. Remain focused. in working with God, because he's the one leading you to where he wants you to be in life. Anything that happens to any child of God is experience, and that is the ways of God. There's no two ways about that. God is God, and it can never be otherwise. Am I talking to people here? A harlot was the one that saw them, and she knew that these guys are stranger, and he knew that these guys are Hebrew. Hebrew those days means the chosen ones, the righteous ones. They were considered enemy of their neighbors, even up to today. And here they came into a new land, and they lodged in the house of a harlot. Believers of today will say, God forbid, you are a sinner, you should be stoned to death. What business do you have with a harlot, with an unbeliever? The Bible says we should separate ourselves from the same lifestyles of unbelievers. They will quote the Bible, they will twist it, they will back it up and down. But here we are talking about Bible. Harlots was the one that hid the messengers of God. If you say that it's not God, because sometimes when I pay attention on social media to hear the preaching of some men of God, these days things are going sour. I want to use the word sour. I begin to ask myself, is it not the same Bible we are reading they are trying to translate, or is there another Bible? At least English is still the same. They may have different translations, but English is the same. What is happening? Do you know the same Rahab? If you say that it's not God that directed them, it is devil. Do you know the same Rahab was grandmother of Jesus? Do you guys know that? Oh, you don't know. The same Rahab, the same prostitute, the same person they called prostitute, they labeled as a prostitute, is the grandmother of Jesus. Can't you see what I call divine orchestration? God was walking behind the scenes. Hear me, folks. Who God will use to change your life is not up to you. It's up to God. Who God will use to liberate you is not up to you. It's up to... You are not hearing me. Your helper. Can I shock you? Do you know that the people that sponsoring churches are not born again? Do you know that, folks? You don't. Many churches you see. I told you guys a story of Apostle Joshua Suleiman. It's on social media, where he said that he entered bank and he met a Muslim man that was following him by social media. And the man said, "Are you not Apostle Suleiman?" And he said the money the man gave him amount in billions in Nigerian currency. No member of this church will bring that amount of money. As you see a lot of pastors parade on social media, how many food have we gave out? Over $500,000. No member of this church contributed for $1 out of that food, those foods. Do you know who sponsored those foods? You don't know. They are unbelievers. They are not born again. You cannot dictate to God how he would change your life. Your destiny helper could be a sick, stubborn man. There is a sick, stubborn man that died a couple of years ago, a politician. He was the one that gave All Nation Church. I'm speaking by social media, they're hearing me. All Nation Church is down there towards downtown. When they were there in Marlboro, this guy gave them $100,000. He was sponsoring a lot of churches. He died in an accident a couple of years back. Hear me. And when you see the money church is using to propagate gospel, doing things, you will be like, oh my God, this church is doing well. You don't even know that it is destiny helpers, unbelievers. God can cause anyone to be a destiny helper. for his agenda to be executed.